Hello and welcome everyone to our yet another episode of Engineering Insights. Today we have Prageetu here with us, who is an engineering manager here with QuestionPro. What's interesting about Prageetu's journey is that she has been with QuestionPro from the past 11 years. That is a rare commitment that we can see these days. She started off her career with QuestionPro and has grown into several roles and now is an engineering manager. She leads several products here with us and, of course, manages the team as well. And since today's conversation is going to be all about career growth and leadership roles, how to move or grow into a leadership role, I think Prageetu is the perfect person for this conversation. I'm sure we are going to have a lot of learnings, a lot of valuable insights and advices from Prageetu's side of how she has grown into this journey, and how if someone wants to or is planning to move into leadership roles or grow into leadership roles, then what are the steps that one can follow. So if you are someone who is planning to grow in your career or move into leadership roles, I guess this conversation is really going to be helpful for you. So, without much delay, let's start the conversation. Welcome, Prageetu, once again.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction you have given me. Yeah.
That, I mean, you deserve that.
Oh, thank you.
Because sticking to one organization in today's, time, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say, it's really a rare commitment.
Yeah, yeah.
So continuing with the conversation, Prageetu. So we keep on hearing about great engineers, good engineers, right?
Right.
So what do you think, like, what separates a good engineer from a great engineer? Like, what is it, what are some of the traits or some of the things that separates them?
Hmm. So, like, if I think about a good engineer, and I would talk about the experience I have been through, like in this 11 years, as you said, like, so I've joined here as a fresher and now currently as an engineering manager. So that itself, I have found like what's the difference in a good engineer and a great engineer, right? I will obviously talk about my experience in that way.
Mhm.
So for a good engineer, it is someone who get the task done
Hmm.
or find a solution and just get the task done.
Right.
Like, but for a great engineer is the one who makes sure the right problem is being solved.
Right.
So good engineer can find the solutions to the problem, but the great engineer, as I said, they make sure the right problem is being solved instead of just jumping into the solutions. So, what makes a difference for a great engineer is that they think not just about the coding, so they think about the business impact, the customer value, like how would customer impact it, how customer would be impacted by their solutions,
Right.
and also this how their solutions are going to be impacting the future, like the long term implications for their solutions
Right.
is one of the major thing which they think about before jumping into the solution. So nowadays AI is something like the coding part is done by
Right.
AI, right? You can get like tremendous help, it's incredible, but how to use AI and how I would say like AI can do the coding part, but what needs to be built and what trade-offs can be taken out
Right.
from that is the major part which we play into. So that's where this helps, and currently that differences makes to be a great engineer
Right.
along with AI. So yeah, that's
So
my
I think,
perspective about it.
yeah. So I think what you mean is not just thinking about coding, but thinking from a holistic perspective,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
I think that is something that would make engineer great and not just a good
Good
engineer.
engineer, yeah.
Right. So, Prageetu, looking back, throughout your career of these 11 years, 11 plus actually, right? So, what is the thing that has, helped you accelerate in your career as an engineer?
Okay, so uh, I have seen like mostly. So whenever I have have to put up certain with tasks, or which I have to fulfill certain solutioning, which is outside my comfort zone, is something which led to the growth of my career.
Right.
So uh, at this point now, I believe that I didn't know that earlier, obviously, but obviously as a fresher, I would not maybe, or maybe currently they know correct, but I was not at that point. But currently I can say that growth hardly happens if you're in your comfort zone. If you're
Right.
working in the comfort zone, it hardly happens, right? So in my case, I've mostly seen, like, whenever those things which were put on me on each learning phase were those which I hardly mastered. I've not mastered those yet, and I had to learn those things, and then I have to replicate or have to find out solutions for the problems which has been arise. Maybe it could be a production issue, maybe it could be some critical bug which has been coming up, which have not worked yet, any region which have never worked yet, but that helped me actually to grow and more faster, because that kept me out coming from my comfort zone.
Right.
So that's the main gist out of here, I would say, is like, whenever you try to work out of your comfort zone and go and find the solutions and hustle a lot, you will have a faster growth in your career.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that has been, or we can say that is your mantra to that you can say that,
Yeah.
grow out or get out of your comfort zone.
Comfort zone, yes.
And I think that is something that even I would agree with, because I have generally, or mostly, that has been my observation as well, that people who have always been in their comfort zone are the ones who then complain that there is no growth in their career. Because but then you also don't want to try anything new. Then how would you know that you are capable? I mean, it's okay if you're not capable. It's
Yeah.
okay to fail at sometimes, right?
Exactly.
But I think it's very important to get out of your comfort zone and first try it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's like one major. I mean, I have been here for 11 years, but still it's not my comfort zone, I can yet say. Why? Because I can see my career growth. I have learned, the learning curve is like exponential, I would say, over here. I've been put with different projects, like go for this, go for this, try out this. Like being a fresher, I've been put up with a marketing project. I still remember I used to work with Vivek, and I've learned a lot from him. Like, he used to, like, literally, I mean, there were many ideas we used to come up, and he used to say, "Yeah, let's try this on. Let's." And there was no boundary was kept for
Right.
learning things. So that helped in that helped me in Question Pro to actually like uh, think without any boundary, and
Right.
then think out for the solutions and implement it. And taking risk is not being like I was not being afraid to take over risk,
Right.
but find great solutions out of that, and that helped me a lot. Like, there were whoever the managers were, like, it was Vivek, there was Shrikant, there's Anish now. So everyone have been that flexible towards the solutions which we put up, like everywhere over here.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing which we have, and we can think broadly on how we can put up our solutions, and which will actually help us to come out with the comfort zone. We will come out of the comfort zone,
Yeah.
but it should be the other way around also, right?
Right.
It should
Right.
be allowed by them too, right?
Right.
We come out and we put up that solutions, like, so that is two-way thing which was provided here in Question, and which actually helped me to grow.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, so that it should be two-way
I
actually,
think
but mostly us.
that is the one thing which I really like about this company or working here is there is no limitation or foundation to what you can try or how many risks you can take, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always appreciated taking risks and coming up with new solutions. And that is something that I greatly appreciate about working here.
Yes, yes.
Right. So, okay. So, Prageetu, looking back at your career, you have grown into leadership role. You spoke about coming out of your comfort zone, and that actually helped you, right? So, when did you realize that I just can't be a engineer who codes? I need to get out of my comfort zone. I need to go beyond coding or think beyond coding. So when did that thought come into your career?
So thinking back, I see when Shrikant was former director of engineer. Uh, he bestowed a task, like it was not a task, like a team, like a product. We have a customer experience product, CX. See, I had got a chance to work with him for the customer experience CX product of ours. So that's the first leadership role I took up, and I was just like a mere engineer, like I would say like mere engineer, like, but yeah, like I used it was fully on coding, which maybe we could say good engineer, not the great engineer which we had talked earlier, right? So at that point, I came to realize many things. Like it's not about just coding. I had to improve on my communication, collaboration with
Right.
maybe the stakeholders or account managers, CSMs. I had to have like that ownership over that product, in which like anything and everything going out should be like I'm the one who is responsible for it. So that sense of responsibility towards your product or towards your company has come up when that particular uh, responsibility was bestowed on me, right? So I thought like it was never like I have been put out of comfort zone each and every time, like, and that was also because my superiors obviously believed on me,
Right. Right.
and that's because I could come out of my comfort zone and give like stretch out myself towards that end so that I can give my 100% out there. When I was stretching out that, I kind of understood like it's not about just coding, as I said, like I have to have multiple skills. The first thing is like the ownership.
Right.
Okay, first thing is like ownership, then the communication. Like it's not just your coding things out. You should actually communicate things out. You should market things out what you're building, and then collaborate with your team. Leadership comes not just like you do your things and
Right.
that's done. It's your team success. It's not the success is never personal at that
Right.
time.
Right.
Once your team is doing best and they get success, then it's your success, right? So that's leadership. So all that qualities and all those things was just came in one gush towards me, and I found out like this is the time I should now come to leadership, and I kind of understand like that's my career path. Like, that's where I should go. I mean, engineers can either be go for the leadership path or they can go for a senior engineering, like
Right.
research. There are multiple paths you can go,
Right.
right? But that's where I myself understood like this is my path, and then
Right.
I can go towards plus with engineering together, keeping the coding together.
Right.
And that's what we get in Question Pro. Like we do lead at the same time we do code.
Right.
I mean, it's never like we're getting out of code.
Right.
It's never, and we shouldn't actually.
Right.
So that's how that's when I got to it.
Okay, so you just spoke about ownership, and so one of the cultural pillars we have here at Question Pro is, having that ownership, right? So what does having ownership feel like in a day-to-day engineer's life?
So for like ownership, it directly comes up, like we can directly see in each and every task they do. I mean, even if it is a simple things, daily routines like they do, I mean that doesn't come to our company, but we what we see is like even if it is a smaller task, okay, it's not just getting that task done. Okay, uh, getting that task done, I mean, if on engineering terms, if you put to staging environment and then that's done, no, it's like it goes to the production environment, you check it is actually working over there, and that's where the ownership, and make sure there's no bug, and if at all anything arises that you like, yeah, this is something which has been fixed or been produced by using my code, and I have the ownership to do. I mean, taking any task to its end, and not just leaving till in between,
Right.
and make sure like everything is working till the end. In engineering terms, it's till the production,
Right.
obviously. And then you have the whole ownership over that. And ownership also comes where it's not even your problem, okay, but you see some issues comes up, some production incident, some issues
Right.
comes up, but you step up and
Mm.
take that ownership on you is also one kind of ownership.
Right.
That is that where you
Right.
can see your proactiveness in
Yeah.
him. So that's kind of certain attitudes also happen, some certain qualities which so engineers can be best in engineering or
Mm-hmm.
coding, but not necessarily they are good at taking ownerships, or they may
Mm.
fumble somewhere over that side. But engineers can be good, but they take the ownership of doing their task towards the end
Right.
as something like commendable. So that's the difference over there. But engineers having a great who is a great engineer,
Mm-hmm.
who have a very good technical skills plus the ownership skills is top notch.
Oh, nice.
That's
I
something.
think that's the recipe, like ownership plus being good at coding or being, great. I
Yeah.
think that is, I think that will push you towards the growth or the leadership role more,
Right.
right? So I'm sure you must have a lot of engineers in your team, right?
Hmm.
So when you look at your strongest engineers who are in your team, right, or whom you have seen across different teams,
Hmm.
right, what is a common habit that stands out among all these people?
Hmm. It's a good question. So one thing which I see is like continuous learning,
Mm-hmm.
curiosity to learn out things, like continuous learning on things. So we are into a sector
Mm-hmm.
where we are continuously evolving. Now it's
Right.
AI. Next date would be something else. But
Mm-hmm.
like so, continuous learning where you never stop, and curiosity to know things is something which stand out on that
Right.
top performing engineers. Along with the continuous learning, there's one thing which is also uh, identifies that separately, um, is sharing knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever knowledge they have, like, they have inculcated in them, they just share it out. Like it's not just keeping only for self,
Right.
right? Sharing knowledge is one thing, even if it is 20%, 30% they knew about things.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing knowledge help us to improve them and
Right.
them themselves. It's not about just others obviously, yes,
Yeah.
plus they are reviewing it and then get knowledge where others also have.
Right.
So those two main qualities I see, like where uh, this top performing engineers have, like curiosity and to learn things, learn their things out there, and then share their knowledge
Right.
to their colleagues or whoever out there. Yeah.
Right. That's a really good insight or a quality that I can say, that you're not just upskilling yourself, you're not just learning for yourself, but you are also sharing that knowledge, and that is very important, because you can very well be a selfish person, that, I mean, anyone can think, right? I mean, I have upskilled or learned something new, I'll just keep it to myself, maybe it will help me grow later, right?
Right.
But that's really good, that to have this thought to not only keep it to myself but to share it with other people. Of course it's going to help me, but it's also going to help others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very, very valuable thing. I mean, this is something that I can take away from this conversation today, is that, whatever you learn, make sure that you also share it
Share
with
with
someone
someone.
else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It works both ways. You, as I said, like it's not just they are getting that knowledge or they are improving. At
Right.
the same time, you yourself improve with that.
Right.
Yeah, you just brush it out, right? Even though
Mm-hmm.
if they don't know, you brush out things and you get new ideas out of
Right.
it, right? I mean, whenever you think about those things, whenever you share knowledge, what I see is like if ever I am taking some seminars or like
Mm-hmm.
I've got some chances to talk in colleges. So I understood that when whatever I used to refer or review
Mm-hmm.
once, and then when I used to share the knowledge, it made me think more.
Right.
Okay, what about this then? And the questions they ask, maybe I do not have an answer that time, but still, I
Right.
think it helps me to think more about it. So it just don't keep stagnant over there, and sharing knowledge is actually helping me grow in things. So
Right.
that's what. a trait which we see in the top performing engineers.
Now everyone, I'm sure everybody wants to grow and become a manager or move into a leadership role, right? So what is the one thing that they should start doing from the very start that is going to help them get this title?
Mm, I would say that like start leading things even before you have that role. I mean, leadership role starts. It's not about like I got this role now I should lead. It is seen when you take your responsibilities, you mentor others, you just get all. I mean, go out of your comfort zone, as I said, and then take the responsibilities, proactively work on certain things, and sharing your knowledge with your peer. uh, these are the qualities which you will need, or which you yourself prove to become a leader. And
Right.
when leadership doesn't come once you have a role, it's the way you take your responsibilities, take the ownership of those responsibilities, and take it to the final line, is where you present yourself as
Right.
you're already leading.
Right.
You do not need a title to be a leader, you're already leading. But when you're taking your peers, your colleagues together, and this the thing which we have said earlier, sharing knowledge and all the stuff matters, comes into one place and meets together here, and start the very first point, like before even getting the title, as I said. So that's where you are already leading. So leadership is not just having a title of a lead. Yes, I would say it is about you're getting influenced. I mean, you others are influenced by you. I mean, that's where you that's where you already are lead. I mean, so then the title which comes is like a side part, like for doing things. So as we see, like promotions are for those, like those are already been done, and then you get the promotion. So it's just like you are already doing your things, like, so that way is like, we it's not about just title, it's about how you lead things. And leading things includes how you take certain responsibilities, proactively work on those, mentor your people, and then work together, collaborate together, communicate things, and then grow together, and ultimately grow your company.
So I think the title or the promotion that you get is just a recognition,
Yeah,
to what you have been already
Already
doing throughout the career.
yes,
Right,
yes.
right. So, Prageetu, now I have a very interesting question for you, right? So looking back, if you had to talk to yourself on the first day of when you joined a company, or on the first day you saw yourself as an engineer, right? What would your current self tell to that younger Prageetu starting her career as an engineering at the very start?
Okay, so what I used to feel is like, as I said, like coding is everything. Okay, engineering skills, you have to have more skills to prove to yourself. But it's like, it's not like I should be knowing this, oh I should be knowing that, right? So, and I should learn faster these things, otherwise I'll not be reaching somewhere, right? So that's not the case at all. I would say take it slow, but take it deep. I mean, you, whatever things you're learning, do it at the fullest, and learn the skills out of that. Be the best in what you're doing, and instead of having everything, you should evolve. Yes, like as I said, you should evolve on learning, because we are into a software sector where you have to learn things, evolve things, but take it more deep, learn more things out of that, and grow. You can grow faster, but at the same time make sure you are learning deeper. So it's not just you have like the general overview of things and just move on. No, if you have a good deeper knowledge, and at the same time you inculcate more of towards your technologies, that will help more, instead of having everything. Just whatever you're doing, do towards your best. But plus, it doesn't mean you'd be stagnant over there. You should evolve with your new new whatever technologies are coming up. So we should be knowing to take that decision hand in hand instead of just stuck with one technology. Oh, that's
Right.
it. That's not the case. I'm not saying like you are going deep and done with this technology. No, that's not the case. But you should also have a wide variety of knowledge which you could gain, but not at one point like I should know everything.
Right.
So take your time, go it slow, and but not as slow as Edmund outpasses
Right,
you.
right.
But there should be a control or over those things. And I would like it was not about knowing everything. It's knowing about more things, but more deeper on what
Right.
you have. So that's what I would go for my younger self and say like, yeah, it would be better if you would go more into it and get more knowledge about it and not knowing everything, but whatever you know, like just go for it. And it's not about like there are different skills out there, you're seeing multiple people having multiple skills, and it's not about you should also know about
Right.
it. Focus on what you are doing, what you require, and then bunch it out and then go for
Right.
working towards your next 5 years, next 10 years, however you want to progress.
Right, right. That's really a great insight. I would want to know, like, what is the one thing that you learned for yourself only after becoming a manager or only after coming into a leadership role? What is that learning that you have got after being here at the leadership role?
Um, in the leadership role, the major thing I've learned is like, as we said, it was more on ownership, but more than that, leadership currently, for me, it's not about my personal growth or personal progress. It is my team progress.
Right.
So if my team is progressing, if they are one level up than the last year, which I've seen, so that's my bar, or that's the way I measure myself that I have gone one level up. If my team is stagnant and I have level one grown up, that doesn't make us uh, a growth for me.
Right.
As a leader.
Right.
For me, my team, uh, they should be one level up or 10 level ups, whatever. Then that is an incredible win for me.
Right.
As a leader. So that's how I measure uh, my me being a good leader. Leadership skills have actually been implemented the right way.
Right. Great. Uh, for anyone viewing this podcast, this video, right? If there's one insight or one advice that you would give, or one habit that they can start from tomorrow, what is that? What is that something that you would want them to start from tomorrow that would really help them grow in their career?
One major, which I think is the ownership. We have talked a lot of ownership now,
Right.
right? But that is one important skill, because ownership itself brings many other skills together. So if you have ownership, you will communicate things. If you
Right.
have ownership, you will collaborate, because for those things you do not know, you will collaborate for
Right.
that. For things to let people know, you will communicate for that. And eventually, if you have ownership to deal with certain things, if you do not know, you'll come out of your comfort zone and you will do your work, you will learn
Right.
there. Okay, so ownership itself makes you learn multiple things, and that quality itself will lead you to get all other skills together, and then eventually help you to lead things.
Great, great. It's been great to have you with us, Prageetu, and I'm sure everyone who has been viewing this video, I'm sure you have a lot to learn from this. If you have any more questions that you would want us to answer, please drop them down in the comment section and we will definitely get back to you on the answers. Till then, everyone, have a good time and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.